watching Glitter Gel Pen.
A lifelong, one-sided conversation of us consuming every pop culture podcast ever. Glitter Gel Pen has joined the chat.
Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Glitter Gel Pen.
Episode 21. I'm Jill.
I'm Alyssa.
And I hope everybody got that joke reference that I just made, so.
21.
How did y'all like that new intro?
Hey! So exciting. And by this time, they'll have seen our DC vlog.
And the bonus podcast episode.
Revolving around Jeff Wittick.
Yeah, so the links to both of those are in the description. We'll also put them on the screen throughout the video, so be sure to go check those out.
They're quite entertaining, and it was quite a fun time, and you definitely want to see what happened.
Yeah, honestly, the vlog was really good.
Yeah.
Like, when I finished it, I was like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with us.
You're like, we did that.
So, jumping right into the hot topics.
Yes.
The astronauts are back.
I saw that.
That's
they
crazy.
are so back. Yeah, they've been up there for a while.
Yeah, their planned trip was 9 days, and they were gone for 9 months.
Yikes.
I mean, I would have expected to never return.
Yeah, can you imagine? They're just like up there, and they're like, I'm stuck up here. I cannot imagine.
No.
That would be the worst kind of like, that'd be, I don't even know, because claustrophobic is like not the right thing, but kind of like when you feel closed and it's like you're stuck.
Yeah.
That's how I would feel.
Yeah, like, I feel like claustrophobic is the right word, because you're in like a little metal tube, and you're just so far away and isolated, like, you're so far away.
Yeah.
That's what kills me, is you're just like out there. There's no one can get to you to like help you or anything. I don't understand how they came back. I don't get how they couldn't come back and now they're back. But I heard that they were like sending them food.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. But like, I mean,
I kind of don't understand fully all of it.
No, but
I just know that if I was one of those astronauts, okay, when it circled back to my turn to go do that mission again, I would say, hell no.
yeah.
Hell no. Do you not remember what happened last time?
Yeah,
We're not
and
doing that again.
I would love to see a movie about it, because I'm not like into space. Like, I don't understand why anyone would ever want to go there. Like, I understand why we should as a species, but like, don't understand a person that's willing to do it. I don't get it. But I love a space movie. Like, when Sandra Bullock is dangling out in the middle of space, I eat it up. I love it. I love it.
Yes. Do you think the moon landing happened?
You know what? Until the last 12 months, I've never questioned it. I never knew that there was like a reason for us not to believe it until like I heard like really level-headed people say that it didn't happen. Like people that I don't hear talk about conspiracies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's weird. I didn't really know that this was that real, but I get why they would fake it, I guess. But it's always been real in my head.
I just feel that like, even if they went to the moon at that time, like some people say that they didn't go, but like even if they went to the moon at that time, I don't think that the footage that we got was like the actual footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I think there was just something else happening up there. I mean, how could they do it live if, and risk a literal alien walking up during their live
Oh my God.
stream?
Not risking the alien walking up.
During their live stream. Also, how did they live stream it in what, 1969? Right? Wasn't that it? They went
I
to
want to
space.
say it was in the 90s.
Oh, we went to the moon in 1969.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know anything about any of it.
Okay. So, and I always think, what if, like, how would they live stream from the moon in that time period?
That's stuff that I'm always like,
Yeah, when literally I'll be FaceTiming somebody who like lives in the next state over, and it'll be blurry and it'll freeze. And I'm like, how were they on the moon?
Jill, you might just have not good Wi-Fi or something.
Well, did they have good Wi-Fi on the moon in 1969?
I don't think they had Wi-Fi at all. So
how'd they do it?
riddle me this, Armstrong.
Yes,
Neil,
we have further questions.
Neil,
Come on the pod.
Is it Neil or Lance Armstrong?
Neil, I think.
Which one's the other one? I'm confused. Neil.
We don't ever need to homeschool children, ever.
We also like are just yapping about this on the internet. Like, we're probably like, these girls are just stupid. But I'll never get over one time I was in the kitchen listening to Trisha and Oscar talk about going to space. And Trisha was like, what's so interesting about space? Like, why would we even look there? Like, I just don't get it. And Cameron came downstairs and he was like, who is that? And why do they sound so stupid?
She said on Frenemies back in the day, she said, I mean, like, who invented gravity? Like, why do we even need that?
Like, we actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
There's some things that she says that I'm like, are you for real?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm like, I really don't even know if I believe that she doesn't know. But yeah, Neil Armstrong, I think one of them is an Olympian.
Okay.
God, I could be so far
I
off.
think it's Lance.
The Chips.
No. I think it's Lance Bass.
Yeah.
Wait. Who's Lance Bass? Wait.
From NSYNC.
He's the Olympic astronaut.
He's a bag of chips. And he's an astronaut. But he also played in NSYNC in the 90s.
He did. He accomplished a lot before his NSYNC days, you know?
And his career's really just getting started.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're glad that the astronauts are back. And
They have to make a movie, like a good, like, Hollywood film about that. Like, just like I love whenever, like, a tragic thing ends so positively and then they, like, make a good movie about it. Like the documentary they made about the kids that got stuck in the cave in Thailand.
yeah.
Obsessed.
And they made us watch some space movie in, like, school back in the day. Do you remember it? Like, where they died or something?
Yeah, probably Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. And you know what? I have, like, this disorder where, like...
Okay, Trisha. You're self-diagnosing.
I swear, like, I do not remember how a movie ends. Like, I'll remember that I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remember that I enjoyed the plot. But, like, I'm just as surprised unless it's something so in your face, like, you'll never stop thinking about that moment. Like Shutter Island, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never watch that and not remember the reality of that movie.
Yeah.
But, like, a space movie, they kind of all run together for me.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I watch a space movie, I'm so surprised by the ending. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I already knew that. But, like, it feels the same.
It feels like the first time again.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about books, because they ran together last year when I read, like, 70 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know the ending of most of them anymore.
Do you still read a lot?
Well, the podcast takes up most of my time. So, you know. But yeah. So that was that's a good thing that they're back. I'm glad. Happy for their families, happy for them.
I almost put the astronauts further down in the notes, and I was like, let's start with them and not this next
Because
topic.
it's a good thing, you know? It's like crazy, but it's a good thing that they're
There
home.
was a video, I guess the pod the astronauts landed in the ocean was, like, swarmed by dolphins after it hit the water. And there's, like, a video of the dolphins, like, surrounding the little pod.
How crazy would that be to be, like, just up in space, just chilling there, and then next thing you know, the first thing that you feel is being slammed into water. It's like, that's one extreme to the other. And it's like, can I not just have land, please?
I'm on the edge of my seat for, an interview with them or something for them to talk about it. But I do feel like if they would have, like, landed on the land, they probably would have died.
Oh, like crashed?
Like, yeah.
Okay, a crash landing.
I feel like the water was, like, the safe option.
True, I guess so. But I'd be just ready to put my feet on some grass.
Yeah.
Like, that, it literally, a definition when people say, you need to go touch grass.
I
I'd be like, yeah, I do. I need to go touch grass right now.
That is scary. And, yeah. Anyway, I know we were, like, changing the subject, but it just blows my mind that they came back. Like, I really, like, not to be negative, but, like, I was like, dang, they're going to die up there. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought whenever I heard about it.
Yeah. But the saga of Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, all the drama, it continues.
Yeah.
Because when does it ever not?
You know, what kills me about this being back in the headlines, because we took technically 2 weeks off from like recording and like doing hot topic notes and stuff. And when I kept seeing this in the YouTube home feed, I was like, oh my God. But all of the information that came out in this 7-part documentary about Hailey Bieber's obsession with Selena Gomez, we all learned about this 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's literally nothing new that we haven't heard about already.
No, I want to say all of this information first came out, was it during Eyebrowgate? Where like Selena was like, I laminated my brows too much.
Yeah.
And Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner are
Yeah.
sending each other Instagram stories
And
about her.
they were talking about how Hailey stalked Justin, and they were coming up with all these like videos proving that. And then they were like, and she was obsessed with Selena too, and look at her holding this magazine of Selena. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But like we already knew about it.
Yeah. So I don't really understand why all of this is like back in the news.
It's because it came from TikTok, and
Yeah.
people regurgitate stuff on there.
Or
and
the
then
kids
act
were
like
too
it's
young
theirs.
2 years ago to be doing what they're doing right now to know that this actually already came out. But you know, the craziest thing that I've just heard people talking about that I was reminded of is just like the G tattoo. I will say, I think there are some non-coincidences, and I do think Hailey copied Selena.
For sure. Yeah, I think that she had a case of I'm obsessed with my current boyfriend's ex. And I think we've all been there.
Yeah. Olivia Rodrigo put out a song about it. Like, it's a common feeling, but I also think that Hailey Bieber was a huge fan of Justin Bieber, and she's never, like, admitted to it.
Yeah, she needs to just come clean.
I know, because it was Trisha and Oscar on their podcast. They were talking about how, like, she tried to act like she didn't know who Justin Bieber was whenever she, like, went to his premiere where she met him. And it's like, yes, you did. Jill knows that Hailey Bieber knew who he was.
Yeah, she was a belieber back in the day.
Yeah.
We followed each other on Twitter.
Yeah, there was a girl that came forward. Actually, it's the girl that did this documentary, that whatever documentary you want to call it, that the TikTok thing was, that all that information came from a video that came out 6 months ago from a creator who was one of Hailey Bieber's Twitter Jelena friends, and they were like super fans, and they would message and like plan to go meet up where Justin was gonna be.
Yeah.
And you had interactions with her on Twitter?
I did, yeah. We followed each other on Twitter, and then my interaction had nothing to do with Justin Bieber with her, but it involved, Cody Simpson, who dated Miley Cyrus at one point. So he was like big at the time, and she was in one of his music videos or something, I believe. And so she was kind of gaining traction because of that. And she posted something and was like, send me your phone numbers, like DM me your phone numbers, and I'll call selected like people or whatever. So I sent her my phone number, and we like talked on the phone for like, she was Hailey Baldwin back then, and we talked on the phone, and like now she's Hailey Bieber, and it's like, that's just like so crazy to think about.
I know, she was just like a fangirl on Twitter. And it's like, it's okay. No one would even care if you used to be a fan and now y'all are married. It's the fact that she tries to act like that's not the case.
That's like what makes it weird, because it makes it like sus. It's like, I don't know about that,
Yeah. And I think it all like went and got turned into bigger news because for whatever reason, this all started because Hailey Bieber liked a freaking TikTok that was slightly shading Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. Well, what if she just accidentally liked it? That can happen. And I'm sure there's Selena stuff on her feed, like from the way that everything is. But her publicist tried to come forward and say that she didn't do that and that a content creator is running with the story. You could just say it was an accident.
Yeah, literally.
There's a screenshot and evidence that it happened.
Like if it was an accident, then that could explain why that little screenshot happened, and it not like, you cannot say that it did not happen.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I'm like, y'all are making it look worse by just not being honest. But I think I forget who I was listening to, but they were talking about how like we're in an age where like old PR tactics do not work anymore.
Because we're like, we know about it. We know. We've seen it enough.
Yeah, we've grown past it, and like we just have so much information with the internet now that you can't like have a publicist just come out and make a statement and everybody just believes you.
Yeah, and I truly think that people these days probably from seeing so much like the PR, like through all the decades and stuff, I feel that people appreciate honesty more these days. Like 100%. They would totally just be like, all right, I feel you, girl. Like, I've been there. Mm-hmm. I like stuff talking shit about my boyfriend's ex. Like, you know, like, I feel like that's pretty relatable and common. And, like, even if you like Selena, you could understand that she did that. You know?
It's not weird. She makes it weird by acting like she would never do anything like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we've all been there. Mm-hmm. We were all alive when Justin Bieber was at his peak. We know what it was like. We get it.
Yeah.
And the stalker Sarah.
Yeah.
She's kind of relevant to the story. I just put this TikTok in here that she made. If I'm not mistaken, she's just the girl who got famous for being in so many photos with celebrities, right?
Yeah, she like worked her magic. She somehow would figure out where these people were. She did it purposely. She didn't just like run into these people. Yeah. She was stalker Sarah.
And in all the photos, she looks exactly the same.
It looks as if she straight up went to Canva, took her one picture with like whoever she met, and like made it a sticker and put it next to all these other celebrities. She's making the same exact face.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I live for stalker Sarah.
Well, her TikTok, I didn't know that she was like still like an active like content creator, but she owns it. And like, that's why I was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
So I put her TikTok in here, but her handle on TikTok was stalker Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, I love when people just own that they're weird. Or like, I love it. And I feel like a lot of people love stalker Sarah.
Yeah.
And it's like I know, I'm not saying that Hailey Bieber was as bad as stalker Sarah. But it's like, it'd be the same thing if she would just own, you know, her Justin Bieber infatuation.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Okay, so I have to come to you guys because I cannot be bothered to find the screenshots. Okay, does anybody remember when Hailey sent all those random tweets about me in 2012? This was so random, and I've always wanted to also, this is no hate to Hailey or anything like that. This is just journalism. It's my job. But I've always wanted to talk about this because Justin essentially mentioned it to me like years later. So in 2012, I was in my prime of taking pictures with celebrities. I was very active on Twitter, very active on social media. And, people hadn't adapted to social media yet. It wasn't trendy or cool to like be nice to each other or like lift each other up or anything like that. It was honestly trendy and relatable or whatever to be really petty and be really mean on Twitter, and indirect tweeting was really big. Obviously, a lot of people haven't grown out of that. And just being mean was like relatable, and that's what got retweeted the most, right? So I was always like trending on Twitter, and it would just be a bunch of trolls, but it was like ants, like it's like a swarm of ants. And so in 2012, I was also linked to my friend who is an actor. I have quite a few actor friends, so this has happened a few times. And I was 16 at the time, definitely not dating anyone, very career-based. And like my followers and media and stuff, they were like, oh, they're dating, they must be dating, they're always hanging out. And so I was like, nah. But Hailey Baldwin jumped on it, and she decided to send some tweets that I just thought were like so strange. She sent, the first one was, so-and-so, my friend's name, is dating Sarah M. online. What is happening, this is world? What is happening, this is world? And I was like, I don't know. What is happening, this is world? And I was like, oh, Hailey Baldwin. You know, I looked her up. I'm like, yeah, she's a Baldwin. And I knew she was like a big fangirl. I'd seen her in the Austin Mahone fandom and the Justin Bieber fandom. And I don't know if she was ever in the One Direction fandom, but like I'd seen her tweets and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh, let me just be nice to her, right? So I was, she spelled my friend's name wrong, so I corrected her. And then I was like, oh, I saw your dad on Good Morning America this week. He seems like a really nice guy. And she completely disregarded that. And she just said, well, if you're happy and he's happy, then good for you too, ... And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess she doesn't want to be friends, you know, but I just thought it was a really weird way to introduce herself, because obviously I'm going to see her. And the first picture in this slide is literally, I saw her a few months later at a Justin Bieber concert, and I took a picture with her. But then 4 years later, I see Justin, he calls me over to the car, and he's like, do you not like Hailey? She says you don't like her. And I was like, whoa, No, I don't really have any opinion on her. I think she's the one that doesn't like me, because she was the one tweeting me and stuff. I didn't really know who she was, so dang, I'm running out of time. So I found my like quote tweet. Yeah. What is happening? This is world. And then I sent her this. I said her dad seems like a really awesome and smart guy. And then that's where she was like, well, if you're happy and he's happy, then good for you too. I was like, me and your dad? Like,
I literally remember, like, not exactly those tweets or whatever, but I remember just seeing, because I followed Hailey, and then, like, I knew of Stalker Sarah, and I probably followed her too.
Yeah.
And, like, and I remember just, like, people tweeting Stalker Sarah all the time and whatever. So that's very nostalgic to just go back down.
She was so niche, but she, like, is having her resurgence, like, 10 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Here for it.
So, obviously, we don't have to break down all of this Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, whatever. We get the concept. But we made a little conversation about it earlier, but do you think this will ever stop?
No.
I don't either.
I don't think it'll ever stop. And I think the internet will go crazy when they get back together.
I honestly, as psychotic as we sound, and like, I'm not one of those people. I would never send hate to Hailey Bieber because of this. And like, I feel so bad for her. But I do see Justin and Selena getting back together one day.
So do I. I really do.
I'm just going to say it though. The way that Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez put themselves out there, I don't believe them. It's like that thing where they say, like, the longer the Valentine's Day caption, the worse off the relationship is. They just went on Hot Ones
Literally
today.
every day it's something. It's like, our first date was in Sunset Boulevard. And so, like, that's what this song is about. Flop century.
Yeah.
Like, Sunset Boulevard, no.
We got a collab album. We got an engagement. We got a tub full of nacho cheese. That's all fine. Just don't show it to us.
Yeah.
If you're overexposing the relationship, and that's probably the worst thing you could do.
Literally. Like, take it from your friend Taylor Swift. You don't do that.
In the Hot Ones episode, they were talking about Taylor Swift and how Selena turned Benny into a Swiftie. And now he's in the car listening to Taylor Swift songs from 10 years ago and feels more free than ever. This man used to be friends with Scooter.
And Justin.
Yeah.
Who don't like Taylor.
You know, the Hailey Bieber video.
Yeah. And like with how we said that we think that Selena and Justin are going to get back together, I feel this because like I just feel that, you know, like the Mandela effect, like how the Mandela effect is like when everybody is like, why do we all remember it this way? And like, we can't all be crazy.
Yeah, it's
and
like, why do we all think?
Yeah, that's how I feel about this situation is like, why do we all think that they're going to be together one day?
Yeah.
It's like, we can't all be crazy. It's a weird Mandela effect. That's not even the right terminology for this scenario, but we're going to make that be what it is.
Like, it's like, why do we all... I don't think we're all like sitting around hung up on it.
Yeah.
And maybe we only think about it because the drama's been so like continuous with it. But it's like, I just don't think Hailey Bieber would care or acknowledge any of this if there wasn't something to worry about. Like, I can't help it. And I'm a little bit afraid to even talk about it in a lot of like speculative ways. Like, we don't really know what we're talking about. We don't know anyone involved. We're just yapping about it.
This is just our opinion. We're just having fun, okay?
Yeah, but apparently there was a source that went to TMZ that said that Hailey Bieber is talking about suing people, and I think it's because that content creator like buckled down and she was like, I did not lie about her liking my post. And it's like, if Hailey Bieber wouldn't have just lied about liking the post, you could have just liked it on accident. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, I did see that about her suing. And that's a little crazy to me. Because I'm like, I get that you don't want people talking about you and your relationship anymore. But, like, they're going to.
Yeah,
like when you marry Justin Bieber, they're going to talk about your relationship.
Yeah, you married a celebrity. My only thought is, like, if it's making the public dislike her, it could hurt her sales. But you didn't start your business till after you married Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had enough Hailey Bieber slander at this point to where if that was going to affect Road Beauty, it would have already.
Yeah.
Have you watched Devil in the Family about the 8 passengers?
No.
Okay. It's crazy. So,
Okay.
first off, like, do you know what it is?
I know that it has something to do with family vloggers, but that's pretty much all that I know.
Yeah. So, Ruby Franke is the mom who started the 8 Passengers YouTube channel. It's her and her husband, and they have 6 kids. And they started this YouTube channel as family vloggers, and it took a huge turn. So there's some clips unedited from footage that they've taken over the years where it was giving Southern mom, where they're playing up for the camera. They're like, today for my church outfit, I'm gonna wear this, and then but it would show the unedited footage. She would be like talking, and then a kid or something would be like loud in the background, and she'd literally snap so quick and be like, why are you yelling? So that was just a little wild to see in itself, but I don't think it's anything that anybody wouldn't expect or like would be appalled at, But where it gets crazy is that she made her son start seeing this therapist, and the therapist kind of like brainwashed the mom. They were like very much kind of like being religiously brainwashed to where she thought that demons would attack the therapist. So they had the therapist start staying with them.
The therapist is okay with this?
Yeah, the therapist started living in their house with all the kids and them. Jody is the therapist, right? So Jody would be sleeping in the daughter's bedroom who had moved out for college, okay? She was sleeping in her bedroom, and these demons would come and attack her. So then Ruby would go to the bedroom with Jody to help her, right? And eventually she just started telling the husband, she's going to have one of her episodes tonight. I'm just going to go.
Oh my God.
And
I think the writing is on the wall here.
yeah. And the daughter, Sherry Franke, she said that at one point she came home like from college and had to like go in her room to get something that she had in there or something, and she saw massage oils on the nightstand and stuff. So it's like, we know what was happening.
They're hooking up.
Yeah. And Ruby disowns Sherry. She kicks out her 17-year-old son for looking at pornography. She kicks out the dad, says, don't talk to me.
They do all this on camera?
No, I think that the channel kind of turned from family vlogging into religious therapy. Like,
I see.
they
Okay.
kind of, her and Jody, like, made videos together at some point. But so the son is kicked out, 17 years old. He looked at pornography. The devil was in him. So he's gone. He's abandoned from the family. They don't talk to him anymore. They don't talk to the daughter that's at college. And then she says to the husband, you need to leave. Don't contact me or any of the kids if you want us to work out. Like, don't talk to me. So
Well, this was a part of the therapy.
he leaves. And then next thing you know, Jody, she lives in a big mansion in the desert. And the neighbor has a Ring doorbell camera, and it shows the footage of a young boy who happens to be one of the children of Ruby, walking up to the door and like ringing the doorbell, and he's like, I just need to ask you a favor. And the guy's like, what do you need? And he's like, can you take me to the police station? And then they come out, his wrists and legs are duct taped. He's severely malnourished, like hasn't had food. He's super skinny. And turns out the remaining 4 kids all were just like being abused. It was child abuse. Like they were not being fed. They found letters that Ruby wrote like in her journal and stuff. And it was like, I will not feed the devil. Like talking about her children as if the devil was in her children.
That's just psychotic.
Yeah, and it escalated so much.
And did they keep vlogging and keep like a happy front like while all this was happening?
I don't know because I didn't watch, them. But to me, it made it seem as if from what I gathered from the documentary, it made it seem as if that wasn't what they did. Like, made it seem as if they started as a family vlogging channel and then kind of switched to Jody doing her therapy and more Ruby trying to promote Jody, you know? And, like, they kind of fed off each other because if she promoted Jody, then more people would come to these therapy group sessions with Jody.
Wow.
And then she would have content about these therapy sessions. So it just, like, was a circle of that.
Okay.
But they started as a family vlogging channel.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it was just wild. I was watching it, and it's all just so weird. Like, the dad, it's like he had to know something was
Yeah.
up. And
Anyone with a brain.
he's not in jail. Jody, the therapist, and Ruby got sentenced to many years. I don't remember the exact amount, but many years in prison for child abuse. And he got nothing. And I just think, like,
So were the kids still with him?
I don't know what happened to the kids. I mean, 2 are, like, fully adults
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point, but I don't know about the other 4, where they are.
Yeah.
I think they're with him, but, like, that makes me a little nervous too, because it's like he's not in jail and he wasn't charged with anything, but you can't tell me he was living in that house for all of that time except for 1 year and didn't know that anything crazy was happening.
Yeah. Manipulation is a powerful thing, though.
It
Like,
is, yeah.
not that, especially if someone's religion is involved. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, manipulation is just a crazy, like, I really never believed it until I, like, felt like I was. And I was like, whoa. Like, I feel like I was just a different person for, like, 2 months.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's crazy. I'm curious. I want to watch it and, like, see the full thing. But are there videos still, like, on YouTube?
I think it is on YouTube, yeah. But I think that their subscriber count went way down.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I'm sure.
So, yeah.
But no one's posting on the channel or anything, right?
No.
What made me, like, first curious about it was, like, obviously whenever those documentaries come out, like, everybody on YouTube starts talking about it. But I had seen there was an interview, I guess, that the oldest daughter did where
She wrote a book. Yeah.
Okay. So she must have been promoting that, and she was talking about how, like, no family vlogging is ethical. Like, there's nothing ethical about it or whatever. And, like, that was my childhood, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and obviously I didn't have, like, an experience like that. But there was something interesting about, like, you have a family dynamic on camera, and then you have a family dynamic off camera. And it was weird. Like, it does something to you. Like, not that I don't feel like I went through, like, a bunch of trauma because of it, but there is, like, an element to it for sure that is questionable. But I saw that there was, like, a new law in California that was passed. Only California is, like, funny for, like, I know most of them live there, but, like,
And
other
it's like
states
it's like
are,
the state of content, you know? Like, everything comes out of California for the most part. So I could see how that's the first one. And I bet other states are going to follow suit, like, after this now.
Well, the law states that, I guess, if there is a child under 18 that is 30% or more of the content posted, the money all has to be moved into a trust until the child turns 18. And a lot of, like, family vloggers were moving out of California. And I guess one of the family vloggers, her name was Brittany, and she was claiming to be moving because of toxic mold in her home and not because of the new law. And it's like,
but didn't one of her kids stay there or something?
oh, yeah, it was her oldest. Like, they were, like, a senior in high school or something.
Yeah,
and
and
didn't
she's
wanna
like, but I'm
move.
going to let him finish his senior year at the school. It's like, with the toxic mold?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, like, so bizarre.
I just, like, I have thoughts about family vlogging, and I just, like, I don't watch family vlogging because it kind of feels exploitative to me. Not to say that I don't watch people who have children, but I watch vloggers who vlog themselves, and it's like they vlog themselves and they might have a child. Like, one that I'm thinking of right now, her name is Sierra Schultze, and she vlogs just her daily life. And every now and then her kid, she has 2, so one of them might pop into the frame, or she might be talking to one, like, but not putting the camera on them. but the content definitely does not revolve around her children. It's
Yeah.
based on her, and she just happens to have kids.
Yeah.
There's something weird to me about like making a channel with a child who has no say so and making the whole channel about them and exploiting them and being like, we're potty training today. Oh,
Yeah.
you shit on the floor? Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like putting your baby pictures, when parents show your like baby pictures of your naked butt to your new boyfriend that you're going out with for the first time.
Yeah.
But they're doing that
I've
to their
never
like,
experienced that, but you are triggered.
but it's like they do that times a million, like with
Yeah.
subscribers, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely went through some things. Like being on YouTube and not being in control of the camera at 14, when you're like, when you have a gap and a really big nose.
You
Like,
had a gap back in the day.
yeah, like it's not good for your, like, for that middle school self-esteem.
And
like,
it
in
makes
no way.
you susceptible to like bullying and stuff. And if you're not really down for it, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
if
I
you're
got
not
bullied.
like, yeah, if you're not like consenting to even want to be doing this, you know, which like, I'm not saying that you didn't want to be doing that,
I have
but I'm
my
just
own
meaning,
channel as well. So like,
yeah,
I think the difference with my family too was like my brother wasn't 18 and he was the one who started vlogging the family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the parents started doing it and
like
exploited the
y'all are
kids.
also like teenage age where
Yeah.
you're
He
aware
was, like,
enough
16.
you're aware enough to know that like you want to be doing this, or like versus like 3-year-olds
Yeah.
and 5-year-olds. It's like they don't know what's happening, you know?
No. In our last hot topics, we were really, really heated about Rosanna Pansino.
Yeah, and we had some really, really heated comments.
Yeah,
too, I
and
think.
that's fine.
Yeah, no.
We welcome the kind criticism.
Listen, honestly, the ones that are still there are all good.
Yeah.
like if you don't agree with us, that's fine. It's our opinion. It's your opinion. At night one time when that video went up, there happened to be, I was just like clicking our little YouTube studio thing. There was a long comment that actually was not constructive. It was just hate.
Love that. I wish you would have screenshotted it.
I
so
wish
bad.
I did too. I thought they were going to keep it up though. So
Yeah.
I was going to let you wake up in the morning and see it and text me about it. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I read it. And then they said at the end, they were like, just wanted to vent on a no-name millennial podcast.
I love that. I love that. There was something else on TikTok comment about these like no-name millennials and how like we don't need a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't need a podcast.
Nobody needs a podcast. How about you tell that to all the thousands of men
Okay.
who start them every single day? Okay.
For real. And well, Rosanna, since we've recorded the last episode or whatever, she responded to the backlash where she basically apologized to Trisha and explained that she was sorry that Trisha had to talk about her bad experience in downtown LA and that she wasn't saying she didn't believe Tana, that the guy said anything, but she did make an 1.5 hour long video proving why you can't trust Tana. But you'll notice this time that her boyfriend Mike wasn't sitting next to her,
Yeah.
because that is probably one of the worst parts about that whole video, is him just sitting there judging Tana.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Yeah, I watched Rosanna's response and like, listen, I can understand. I think that both things are true, right? That I think Rosanna is just very sensitive.
Yeah.
I think that she can't take the heat, and so she needs to stay out of the hungry nummy's kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
But she is very sensitive, so she took Tana talking about the dad thing and felt triggered by that.
Even though she literally named her podcast Smoking My Dead Dad to get clicks, conversation, and to create buzz around her podcast.
Literally.
That's where I don't understand. Tana basically quoted the name of your YouTube video in that statement. So like what
Yeah.
are you upset about?
I don't get it. Personally, I still am Team Tana in this situation.
Yeah, me too.
But I just am trying to like look objectively like out at this whole scenario. And I think, you know, Rosanna being sensitive and getting triggered by that is the whole reason that everything happened. But it's like, just like Tana actually did think it was funny and meant no harm when she was mentioning that in her story. But I think that Rosanna was just sensitive and got triggered. And there we go. And that's what happened.
I think Tana has completely ignored the situation, which I think is even funnier.
That's like slay.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, what Rosanna really wanted was a podcast war where, like, they go back and forth. And Trisha doing that really did give, like, Trisha got more views. Like, Rosanna's response to Trisha got more views than their original video.
Yeah.
Which, like, even though it seemed like huge news in our corner of the internet, their podcast episode had less than 100,000 views, even still.
Yeah. I think, too, the drama commentary community is that once something crazy's happening, so the 100,000 people saw that video, but then a lot of them made commentary videos on that video. Yeah. So then people
we'd rather watch Adam McIntyre watch it and react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then the original doesn't get that many views.
Yeah.
So,
well, they haven't, like, Tana hasn't addressed it. The one person I'd be really curious to hear their take on is Brooke, because Rosanna did not hold back, and she still hasn't said anything to retract any of her Mean Girl statements about Brooke.
Yeah, but we know Brooke probably just wouldn't have an opinion unless it was Tana's.
Yeah.
So
bootlicker.
You can
Oh,
tell.
her face just scowls.
But look at that scowl.
My favorite part about all of it is, like, the fact that Tana has ignored the entire scenario. And, like, even Trisha, on every Just Trish episode, there has been a joke made about if they're not 100% sure of what they're saying, they'll be like, I'm not exaggerating, I'm just not sure.
So funny.
Yeah, but they made a joke about it on Not Loveline, like how they don't want to be misconstrued as lying, we're just exaggerating, and we really don't remember if it was 20 or 25, and we're sorry if we don't know all the details. But that was one of my favorite parts about it all.
Speaking of Trisha, the Ethan Klein drama.
Did you see his reaction to Trisha's pregnancy?
I have not.
Okay. You were a Frenemies fan, so you'll know how deep this runs.
Let me see.
Okay. Remember when she came on Frenemies and straight up lied about having fertility problems for clout?
So he just recently said this statement, like after she announced her third pregnancy, his reaction on his podcast was to say, remember when she came on Frenemies and used infertility for clout?
Okay, the reason is because one of their big arguments, I put it in our Trisha deep dive, shameless plug, go watch that. One of the big arguments that they had on Frenemies where she stormed out was because she was criticizing their parenting.
I remember that.
For the nanny, and then they were arguing about it, and essentially she was meaning, like, you're just patronizing me because you know that I have fertility issues and I can't have children. And that was a part of that big argument that they had. So in his mind, he doesn't know all the details because they don't speak anymore. And so in his mind, he's like, she said that during one of our arguments to get sympathy, and now look at her with 3 kids. Like, obviously she was lying.
Yeah.
Which we don't know what she's gone through. Like, we don't know if she had treatments or if they did IVF or if they did any of this kind of stuff, or if she just, like, was blessed with finally being able to get pregnant, like, naturally with no help or anything. I think that Trisha might have actually thought she had fertility issues. I don't know if she saw a doctor and confirmed that at the time, but
like, and I'm not, like, really making this about Trisha specifically, but we do know that she does diagnose herself with a lot of things. But infertility specifically, most girls I know have made some comment about being infertile, and I'm like, that's just not accurate.
yeah.
There's no way. Like, not that you can't have those issues, but, like, the amount of girls who say that and claim that, even though they've never been to a doctor to be it's just like they've never gotten pregnant, so they just assume that they have that problem, and that is not true.
Yeah.
You've just never actively tried to have a baby.
And you haven't, like, accidentally got pregnant, essentially, you know?
So I feel like Trisha saying that in passing, like, you really do feel like if you've never gotten pregnant, you feel like you don't know that your body could even do that, because it's crazy to do that.
And she says that, you know, she would try to have a baby with any man that would have a baby with her, like, back in the day, 'cause she wanted one and just, like, never got pregnant. But I do think that, like you're saying, it could be a situation like where she just assumed that that meant that she was infertile, and when she actually wanted to like get married and have a baby, they probably were trying with like tracking her cycle and trying on intentionally on purpose to have a child at that point. So I think what you said, and I think that she probably threw that up because she genuinely might have thought that during the frenemies argument. But yeah, so I think that's what it is. And I could actually see how, I'm not trying to defend Ethan here. Like, I'm not trying to. But I could see how that statement that he made, I could see why he would say that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, especially the more that I looked into that, like, I even understand in a lot of scenarios why people side with Ethan a lot of the time, because Trisha, she would come at him out of left field and like kind of start trouble with him and Hila, like, pretty often, and like it wasn't always warranted from Trisha's side. So I get why people do side with him. Yeah, I'm a Trisha stan.
Me too.
We'll meet her next weekend, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know how far out.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna meet Trisha.
Yeah. But I told her, I was like, we didn't even think about the fact that we're uploading like a Trisha deep dive like right before we meet her, and like what if it just doesn't go well?
Yeah. But it did, and you should watch it. We cover everything. We don't hold back in that. Like, we talk about everything that she did wrong through the years. We do love Trisha. Yeah.
There's drama with Ethan and Adam McIntyre right now.
I've seen.
I'm going to be honest. I watched Adam's video on it, and I couldn't care less about this drama. Adam also puts so much information into his videos that, like, I don't even feel like I can do it justice to, like, cover all of this because there's, like, a long story to it. But the summary that I got was that Adam was just throwing out crazy accusations on his podcast about Adam. Adam thinks that Ethan has been actively trying to pull him into drama over the years, so he's been waiting for something like this to happen for whatever reason. And he's saying that Adam called Child Protective Services on him and Hila, although Adam like doesn't have a U.S. phone number to do that. But that was just one of the accusations. And I guess like Adam will quote snark Reddits a lot of the times because that's where people really like gather a lot of information and put it in one place. He'll use it for information. And I guess he had like used it for a piece of information about something involving Ethan. I'm not really sure. And then Ethan is saying that Adam was using the H3 snark Reddits to do something to him. But Adam mentioned that Ethan's like most suggested website on his search history was Trisha's snark Reddit. It's called Trishyland. And that, though, now that I know that they're family, it makes more sense. Because, like, if it's just, like, a random hater on the internet, you peace out and move on. But, like, they're connected to them. Yeah. So, not that I would be sitting on my ex-in-law's snark Reddit, but I probably would if they were internet famous. And, like, I was wanting to know what's going on, you know?
Yeah, I'd kind of want to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Also, think that maybe Ethan is thinking, you know, Adam is involved with Trisha. They're not friends, but she gave him tickets to her show, and like she knows who he is. And
they're just in the same space. Yeah, like, they coexist. I watch them actively, both, you know, on all the topics.
Yeah. So I think that that's kind of where Ethan's coming from, is that of his thinking of like why it was Adam specifically who did this. They both, honestly, Ethan and Adam can be a little bit drastic.
Yeah. I don't know what this was. Go Wolves.
They can be a little bit drastic and a little bit dramatic sometimes. Yeah. I do love Adam. Like,
I do too.
Like, I watched his content and I want to go see him and meet him, and I love him. But we can all be a little dramatic sometimes in this space, right? Yeah. So I think this is a situation where Ethan got a little dramatic accusing Adam, and Adam ran with it and put on the dramatics to make a video, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, so, I get that completely.
We have more to talk about with Blake Lively.
I'm excited to talk about it. I don't know why. So, if you do not know, Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively have a movie. It's a sequel to A Simple Favor. It's called Another Simple Favor, I think. Well, at South by Southwest, where they premiered the film, Anna Kendrick was obviously there, as well as Blake Lively. Blake did a few interviews, and there were even some rumors spiraling that she wouldn't be there to promote the film during all the controversies. I actually also heard that Blake hired fans, indirectly, allegedly, whatever I need to say right here. On Dumois, they were talking about how there was a rumor going around that Blake hired fans to be excited to see her, take pictures with her. I swear. I know it's funny, but I
saw
swear.
that too, though. I did see it.
And one of the girls that was present at the festival messaged Dumois and was like, I wasn't paid by Blake to be there. I work for one of the companies that was involved, right? Mm-hmm. So she worked for the company that was involved with the festival, and she was getting paid by them to be there. So she might not have realized that Blake Lively hired her to be there, but she was being paid to be there.
Yeah.
Is the way that I understood it. Well, there were rumors that Amazon even shelved the sequel because of Blake refusing to promote the film, and the idea of her doing press interviews in the middle of this mess sounded like a bad idea. And a Twitter thread that was allegedly from an inside source said that Anna and Blake have had issues with each other, but that was never confirmed. And this was so stupid, but I remember when it came out. The poster for A Simple Favor 2 was released, and Blake Lively's name was printed above Anna Kendrick's on the poster.
Yeah.
Of course, it came out during all this time, so everyone was like, wow, she must have made them do that. This made fans spiral with theories, of course. But the Daily Mail did report that there were behind-the-scenes issues about the placement of the names on the posters, so maybe it was a thing. To me, I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, I'm like, both of your names are still on there. You're both still getting credit.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, Anna was asked on the carpet about working with Blake Lively again, and this is her response. And the fans are interpreting it as being quite negative, and the TikTok shows Blake's reaction to being asked about Anna versus Anna being asked about Blake, if you want to watch that. Okay.
Blake, what does it mean to be back with Anna?
Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
Oh, we're talking about you all day.
Yeah. I honestly love Anna Kendrick's, like...
I do too.
She's, like, snarky. You know what I mean? Like, that's her humor, is kind of snarky.
Yeah, I really like her too. My favorite part about all of this was her shutting down having Blake's drama brought up to her. Have you seen this one?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Yeah, like so. Now the other thing I want to ask you: how do you feel like how does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world?
Why? What happened? I did ayahuasca, and the last year of my life is just gone. But I've heard the movie's amazing.
I love that she just walks off afterwards.
I know, she's so smooth. She's like, thank you.
Yeah, she's like, okay. It's like, that is so good.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a better word.
I know. No, I get it. Okay. This is the final thing about Blake Lively, and then we'll shut up about her for today.
Okay.
Did you see the stories about her in Waco, Texas?
No.
Okay. So, do you know who Chip and Joanna Gaines are?
Yeah. They took over HGTV in like the 20 teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their Target brand is overpriced, but it's cute stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, they have a hotel in Waco, Texas. And this girl and her mom were staying there. And one of the people that worked at the hotel were like, we have a VIP celebrity coming. Like, if you guys hang out in the lobby, you might be able to like catch a peek of them. Well, I guess they heard from someone else that it was Blake Lively. The girls sat in the lobby and like hung out. And it was like a lounge in the lobby. So it's not like weird for you to sit there. Mm-hmm. So Blake Lively walks in, and the girl is getting a video on her phone, but like honestly, it's a really bad video. You can tell it's Blake Lively, but she like puts the phone down really quickly.
Is she Blake Lively? Don't look up. she on crutches?
And she did it so quick that, like, I would have had a hard time believing anyone there even noticed that she was filming. Well, the girl noticed that over the course of the next day or so, like, Blake's security guard would suddenly be in the elevator with her, be around her, and she was doing it as a fan. And, like, Blake Lively's been famous for a long time. Like, anyone that sees her walk by is most likely going to go ding and take a picture. Well, the next day, the girl is sitting there on her phone, and a woman walks up to her and is like, hey, and she gets her to look up, and it's Blake Lively standing there, and she takes a picture of her face. And then she walks away. And then,
do we have proof?
The video hasn't came out, but right after Blake took the picture or video or whatever it was, her security guards started circling her and her mom's car. And they told the hotel staff that they were stalking them and, like, got their license plate and all of this stuff. And it's like, you're a celebrity and someone took a picture of you.
You're a celebrity literally in public. Like,
in the middle of the biggest drama ever, too. Like, to see you right now is like...
Because, like, for a second I was like, I feel like this fan might be lying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could see Blake Lively going, hey. Like, I could see it.
Like, being, like, kind of rude. Obviously, that's rude. Like, I don't know why she would go out of her way to do that unless, like, she was super paranoid about, like, the Justin Baldoni stuff. But, like, she did have her kids with her. But, like, you're Blake Lively. Like, the people in Waco, Texas that are staying at Chip and Joanna Gaines' like hotel, they're probably going to know who you are. Like, so it's just weird to act that way or to accuse someone of stalking you. It's like,
yeah, especially when the picture was like initially that the fan took was like so fast. It's like, obviously they don't have like minutes of footage of you walking around and stalking you.
If anything, it's on the hotel staff for like letting the person staying at the hotel know, like, we have a VIP guest coming. You should hang out here if you want to get a view of who it is or whatever. Like, celebrities go places all the time and nobody knows that they're there. So, like, if Blake didn't want anyone to see her and it was some like secretive thing, she could have went in a back door. Or had someone else check into the hotel for her, and she just goes straight to her room in a hat and a hoodie.
Yeah, literally. That's what kills me is, like, you could make people not even know who you are. Any celebrity could make people not even know who they are if they really just, like, bummed it out. But they won't do that, you know?
It's so weird. But that was just, like, a little mini story about Blake Lively that came out. But speaking of people who don't like for fans to acknowledge them in public.
Oh, Chappel Roan has the new song, The Giver.
Yep, she does.
Have you listened to it?
Yeah, I did. I gave it the most honest try.
Okay, my thoughts, right? First off, do we know if this is what the rest of the album's going to be like, or is this a one-off?
Well, she hasn't confirmed that it's going to be on an album or a single from an album, or if it's just a single, it could just be a little ode to country with a U. But she hasn't really said. What I think is weird about it is the amount that she posted about it before it came out.
I had notes about that too when I was listening.
We hadn't heard the song 8 months ago on Saturday Night Live.
Literally, I was like, that was pretty bad marketing, in my opinion.
It was awful.
To sing the full song the same exact way that it is on the studio version.
Yeah, like the performance matched the production of the final. I was like, maybe she just did like a country version of something like on SNL, and then they're gonna like redo it and like make it more interesting. But like,
yeah, it literally was
like reheated nachos.
Yeah, so then when she's like trying to promo it and stuff and get people hyped to like listen to it when it drops, it's like we've already heard it, you know? We heard you sing it live already. Yeah. So there was no excitement there for me for this to drop because of that. And then also, I don't know how I feel about it being a country song from
Yeah.
her, like in this way.
I wouldn't ask for it.
No. Because on one hand, okay, it is kind of cool, on one hand, that it's a country song from an openly out and like here for the LGBTQ community, you know, because I can't think of like a country artist or country song that's really popular that's by someone who is actually in that community, you know?
Yeah.
So on one hand, it's cool because people who like country, who are part of the LGBTQ community, could feel seen in a way. But on the other hand, I don't know that it's really for that reason. Yeah. And I feel like it's more from the lyrics and what it's saying. I feel it's more like a screw you to country music and like to the country genre and country Southern people.
Yeah. Because
typically in a stereotypical mindset, those are the kind of people who are not here for the LGBTQ community, you know?
Yeah, no, I could see that. And my thought with the lyrics specifically, like, I just hear that, like, ringings. It's catchy. Like, it's a catchy song. But whenever I first listen to it, like, whenever I hear an upbeat song for the first time, I like to listen to it, like, while I'm, like, running or, like, walking or, like, alone. And, like, in a moment to really hear something and, like, pay attention to it. And whenever I'm, like, doing stuff like that, I have a lot more of an open mind to, like something that I don't know. Well, one, I know this song, and I didn't like the performance of it. Like, I didn't like the way it sounded then. But two, like, being from, like, I feel like we are in the heart of the South where we're at. So, like, the saying gets the job done is not a compliment. It's not positive. And I don't know if she's being ironic, but her saying she gets the job done is like saying she'll do. She'll get by. At least that's what that phrase means where I'm from.
I think the song is sexual.
Yeah, like,
you know?
I get it, but like, do you want someone who just gets the job done?
Yeah. I ain't no country boy quitter.
like I get all of it, but like, I don't know, like, to me, gets the job done just doesn't have a positive connotation with it.
No, it does sound like I'm going to just do the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. Like,
also, like, the pictures and
it doesn't
the
match.
visuals doesn't match because it's like her in hard hats and her in, like, with a dentist and, like, a toothbrush and stuff.
I guess it's supposed to be her, like, doing multiple jobs.
Yeah, but I don't think it really makes sense with the giver.
I loved the look of her with the suit, like pointing at the thing, and I thought we were about to like do. I don't know. I just when it was just that SNL song recorded, I was like, "This is old."
Yeah, I was very confused
Subway
by that.
out.
Yeah, I was very confused by that, and honestly, the song's disappointing.
It sounds like old female country in the not good way. Like, we've talked about it before, how neither of us like it, and I do not vibe with that song at all. It's I put it on my running playlist, and whenever I listen to it, I took it off.
Yeah,
because then when it comes on, I want to stop.
And like, just the stark contrast between that and Midwest Princess album. Like, I played The Giver, and then it was on shuffle, so it played music that was similar to that, or similar, like, artists and stuff. And so then it played more Chappel Roan, and it was from Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. And I was like, this is what slaps, and this is what she needs to keep doing, you know?
The way that I perceive Chappel Roan is Cynthia from Rugrats had a song where it was like, Cynthia, she's a really cool dancer. But when I was a little girl, I loved that little song.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah.
I feel like the Midwest Princess album is that genre as an adult.
Yeah.
And that's why whenever I first heard it, like Chappel Roan, something about that reminds me of the Cynthia song. And like, I love her. Like, her, like that whole album, all of it, I loved it. But like, this song is not it. I just hope it's not the committed direction of the next thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's more of like a one-off, like more of a, I don't know, something out of the box to try for her.
Zach, the Swiftologist, he was talking about it, and he was like, this could just be her throwing this out to see how it does, or like they made it to put it on SNL and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And just to put it out into the world.
And it could be, gathering like how when we make videos, it's like trial and error, and you do something to be able to look at the analytics of it,
Why did she? I just don't understand why she posted about it so much.
Yeah. Like,
we've already heard the song.
I know. Yeah. I felt that too.
Like, all the promo made me think she was about to announce an album. And I mean, I guess I'm glad she didn't, because if it sounds like this, I don't want it.
Me neither. I personally, this is a hot take. We're probably going to get hate comments over this right now. But I think that she is a one album wonder, in a sense of
duplicating that would be really impossible.
Like, not that she's never going to make an album again. She's obviously creating music still.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's going to be like in 10 years, I think we're going to remember songs from Midwest Princess and be like, those were like such good. She was at her peak then. That was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we're not really going to even think about any music that she made after that, you know?
Yeah. And I don't think, like, if the music isn't top tier, I don't think her celebrity persona is going to take her very far, because she doesn't like being famous.
Yeah.
From what we know. Like, even like, and I think it was great that she like used the Grammy stage whenever she won her first Grammy to like go up and say something important. But like, entertainment wise, people aren't gonna gravitate towards you. They're gonna be like, they're gonna think she's always on a stunt of some kind. Like, so I just think if the music's not there, she's gonna have fans and stands that like stay forever and defend everything and probably drag us in the comments here.
Yeah.
But like, you're not going to find an everyday passerby fan that really cares about Chappel Roan and every project she puts out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like Lady Gaga. Like, I will give any Lady Gaga song a chance.
Yeah.
Because she's Lady Gaga. But like, I don't even know where else to take that. But like, I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think too, it's not even like with, Taylor Swift, where back when she was doing like secret sessions and stuff, even if fans didn't actually like an album or a song that she put out, it was like you liked the person. You liked Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. You wanted to be able to meet her, and she loved to meet her fans, and you're like, oh my God, she invites them to her house and like this and that. It was like a whole shebang around it.
Yeah.
That will never be the case with Chappel.
Mm-mm.
And so it's not going to keep the attention of people who like you but might not like this album that you have out. You know?
Yeah. And I know it's just a part of marketing, and her label probably has her do it. But I know we talked about it on here because she got a new manager months back. And I'm like, the advertising stuff just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, you have all the money in the world to like do anything with your next project. Like, why is this what you're doing? And like, do you, Chappel Roan, really need to be making up a TikTok dance to make your song viral? Because like,
she shouldn't if it's good.
No, she shouldn't. And like, her dancing, and you know what? This is such a crazy detail that I know, and it makes me feel like a psychopath. But like, the girl that does all of her visual design, I forget her name, but she's in a lot of her videos. She went to the Grammys with her and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the TikTok dance video that I saw, I think it was today. And that girl, the designer, she was wearing the same ugly dress that Taylor Swift was wearing. It's like the worst Taylor Swift paparazzi photo of the last like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the dress is so hideous, and she's wearing it. And I can't help but feel like it was a publicity stunt in a way to get people to talk about the fact that she's wearing that Taylor Swift dress that everybody talked about how ugly it was. But yeah, The Giver is not giving.
Yeah, it's not giving. We need more Midwest Princess-esque music. And I'm hoping, I still have hope. I'm still holding out hope that this was a one-off.
Yeah, just like a little ode to country.
Mm-hmm.
Move on, please.
Yeah. And we can get back to the sleigh that was Midwest Princess.
Yeah, like, if The Giver was even just like a bonus track to
Mm-hmm.
Midwest Princess, I wouldn't even care.
But it just makes me concerned of how they put this out, like, as the single to when she, like, to before she's dropping her album.
That's why I'm wondering if they just put it out to just get rid of it, to get it out and get it done, because maybe they spent a bunch of money to have it made. But it's also like, if she doesn't put something out soon, it's going to be like too long.
Yeah.
Because Midwest Princess has now been out for probably 2 years. Mm-hmm. It just blew up last year, but it's been out for a minute. I have nothing but this one line. Harry Jowsey is dating Lucy Hale.
Okay.
Do you think they're cute together?
I mean, sure. Yeah. Is he hot? I don't remember.
He's the guy. He was on Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah.
The Australian guy. Mm-hmm. He was on Dancing with the Stars.
He had stuff to do with Tana. Too,
yeah, they're friends.
Remember.
And actually, wait a minute. We're about to start some drama. Right here on Glitter Gel Pen. Harry Jowsey and Tana haven't been seen together in a long time.
I always thought they were messing around. I never thought they were just friends.
I thought they were just friends. But, now he's signed to Alex Cooper's Unwell Network.
Okay.
And there is speculation that there is some expose coming out about her. Alex Cooper.
Okay.
Which could explain what happened between her and Alex Earl, because we still don't know. But yeah, I think Lucy Hale's like 35. Let me see how old Harry Jowsey is, because I think he's younger than me.
I thought that too, that he was young.
He's 27.
Okay.
He's okay. I feel like in pictures he doesn't come across well, but if you watch a video of him talking, he's more attractive.
Yeah, he has an accent.
Actually, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's the accent. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much commentary to make on this. They kind of, like, Lucy Hale is beautiful when she's on a red carpet. Her everyday, she looks like an everyday girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he looks like an everyday boy. He just happens to have an accent. They just look like a couple that you would see at your college or your high school, I feel.
He is 6'5" and she's 5'2".
That is giving Jeanette McCurdy when she dated that
basketball
player. Yeah. I would like to see them standing beside each other, because I haven't seen a picture of that
I'm ready
yet.
for a Pat pic to come out. I want to see.
Honestly, it could bump him up on the scale for me.
Yeah.
I just picture him. I can just picture him like being a man and like picking her up. You know what I mean? So that would bump them up a little bit for me if I could see that. All right. So do you have any like stuff that we want everybody to catch up with us about? We're moving it to the back of the episode now.
Yeah.
Instead of the beginning.
It performs better, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I've been, for the first time in my life, eating in a calorie deficit. So I've just been reading nutrition labels.
Skinny.
Yeah, I'm down. Technically, I'm down 4 pounds, but I know that, like, I hadn't eaten whenever I weighed this morning. Mm-hmm. And I've lost, like, 4 pounds in, like, 2 weeks. So it's kind of crazy, but I'm doing the deficit and also exercising. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting to learn. I've never looked at calories. So, like, when I think about what I was eating, I'm like, why did you ever wonder how you gained weight? Like, I was eating.
Yeah.
I was eating.
You were eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was eating.
Yeah.
But I've just been eating.
Yeah. It is. It honestly, like, I don't know. I have such a like relationship with calories, because once you understand, you can't really go back, and it becomes hard to not think of food as a number sometimes.
I know.
But
right now it's like fun though. Like, I'm enjoying it, and like I went to the store today, and like Leo's Skeppy, what's his last name? Skepticai. He suggested like some like low calorie foods that like are satisfying and have like that feeling you're looking for when you want a little dirty snack.
Yeah.
And he said you can have 26 Cheez-Its, and I bought Cheez-Its today. Mm-hmm. And they hit.
Ration them out in your little baggies.
Yeah. They hit when I'm on a calorie deficit. Those Cheez-Its went off.
Yeah. And nothing really has happened with me since we got done with the Jeff trip. Mm-hmm. I went to work.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. So
we came home and had so much like content to edit. And we got it all done.
Yeah.
In the last day. So.
And by the time that this is out, y'all have already seen that. And if not, go check it out.
Yeah. Make sure you guys watch our new vlog. First vlog that we've ever done.
Yes. I think it was pretty good. It was a fun time, and it looks fun in the video as well.
Like it really looks like how it felt that day.
Yeah. So if you're still here, hi, hello. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button.
Yep, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you are into streaming, you can rate us 5 stars on there and follow us on Instagram. We upload new episodes every single Monday.
Yes. So we will see you next week. TTYL.
Bye.